Namaste, Angel. This is the weekly general reading. Sorry, I am late. We're going to get right into it. We're starting with Stay in Bed, Try Again, and Cocktail. I'm going to do the love reading and also the moon reading after this. And depending upon how YouTube behaves, I may even just post them all together. So Try Again, Stay in Bed, and Cocktail. Spirit says, eat cake. So maybe somebody is celebrating something. Eat cake. Massage. And yes, could be celebrating some sort of proposal, success, or anniversary. Doesn't have to be romantic. Could be like a job anniversary or something too. We're starting with the Knight of Cups, which is about some sort of positive opportunity. You will be able to take some sort of action step that is beneficial, positive, maybe even emotionally fulfilling for you, or something that brings you joy, happiness. Behind this is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. The Six of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards, and it is about just like timely gifts from the universe coming, whether through another person, like sort of like an earth angel, or maybe more directly through something like a gift of credit or, loan, or just found money, or support, help, a really opportune meeting or something, which this could be about too. Knight of Cups for me is also sometimes about an ex returning, or somebody that was in your life before that made you happy, that maybe you wanted to be romantically involved with, even if you weren't, returning to your life. I don't know why I put these here already, because I didn't shuffle with you guys. So the reason I'm late, a couple things. I think the moon in part, we also have the Ten of Cups falling away from the deck. So this is another card of like family, happiness, emotional fulfillment, loved ones. In part the moon, and not being able to get any rest. Six of Cups now too. So that's the Knight, the 10, and the 6. 6 is also about exes returning sometimes, or about people from your past in general. Can be about siblings. The number 6 tends to represent Geminis. The sign of Gemini is about siblings. What else? This is also something maybe from your childhood that's coming up this week. I thought I was getting something else, and I was trying to pause and be still and listen. But that's our second 6 now. Then it seems we're going backwards to the 5. Yeah, so the moon, and I also had like a little spell kind of on me that I had to break. Or there's something that somebody was trying to put on me that I had to block. 9 of Cups now, and it's in reverse, but it's still a really positive card. Somebody's dream coming true, a goal being met. It's just not as like grandiose as when the 9 of Cups is upright. Yeah, so I had like somebody trying to put something on me, and I had to like clean that up, break it. Certainly before I read for you guys, but also in general, just trying to hold me back in a particular way, and I couldn't have that. Back to the 9 of Cups, now upright. That's our overall energy this week, followed by the 7 of Pentacles. So maybe something that we've really been waiting for. We put effort into, and then we didn't see the results immediately. We had to wait for them to grow like a plant. And this week, perhaps they're growing, and maybe in the form of an opportunity, or somebody that's going to be particularly generous with us, or perhaps in a relationship of sorts, not necessarily romantic, but that's certainly a possibility, with a King of Pentacles, a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This could even be the ex that's returning, a Capricorn, male maybe, or masculine energy that's returning to you this week, and would be something that you had hoped for, dreamed of. And this can also be a job. And then again, in consideration of the Knight of Cups, might be a job that is particularly emotionally fulfilling for you, like where your passions lie, the kind of work that you love. Also, both Mercury and Venus into Taurus this week. So that could be another reason why this card is coming up. The next card is in reverse. It's the Nine of Pentacles. Now I need these. Okay, so the first card representing us most directly this week, it is the Queen of Pentacles, although she's in reverse. Again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, could be an actual person in your life that is significant. Could be Venus, could be Mercury. Surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers. The Sun. Romantic interests, romantic partners also. Work and finance. Eight of Swords in reverse. So again, maybe that good news comes in the form of a new job or some sort of movement in your finances, and that's why the King and Queen of Pentacles are here, and then the Nine of Cups and all those kind of cards. And love and relationship, we have the Page of Pentacles. I was saying that could be the ex that returns. Maybe it is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. That's a possibility again. I almost forgot physical and spiritual health. So physical health, nice. Particularly because she's upright. The High Priestess, Major Arcana card 2. And also Major Arcana for our spiritual health. Interesting this week. The World, which is a fire energy for me. A karmic fire energy, so could be driven, for example, by the planet Jupiter, or maybe even Mars, particularly because right now the Sun is in Aries. So Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, the planet of action and aggression. We'll see in a moment what we feel is coming up. Sorry about the pause. I like heard a voice, and I didn't like hear or understand what it said. It's weird. I could tell that it was speaking and that it was saying something real, but at the same time it sounded sort of like nonsense, like gibberish. I don't know. But what I feel I'm supposed to tell you is that this week, one of the things that I've been feeling that may show up in this reading, or the love reading, or the moon reading, or a couple of them, or all of them, I don't know, is that I remember how we were talking about the Judas thing. So after Judas did what they did, they felt, he felt regret, right? He felt, regretful. I can't. There's another word I was trying to, that's trying to come to mind, but I'm not getting it. But he felt bad. There was remorse. That's a good word for this, for what he had done to Jesus. The fact that he had sort of like abandoned him as a friend, right? Left him hanging, and of course brought about his murder. And what he ended up doing was taking his own life. Judas, that is, killed himself, committed suicide. Similarly, what's said to have happened to Pontius Pilate is that he retired and then possibly killed himself too, or just like went away and died after retiring. So this was like the regret and the sadness that they felt for what they'd done. And what I've been getting this week, or about this week, is that will happen in our lives too. And not to suggest that we've done anything that hurtful to another person, that we're going to be who feels this. I think it's more likely somebody who's done something to you is going to be who feels this. And what they've done to you involves, like, leaving you, again, hanging or flat, or abandoning you, or with the feeling that you had been abandoned. Like, even people who are still together, you can tell like you're still friends with this person, or you're still romantically involved with this person, maybe even married and living together, but you can tell when there's distance between you and another person, or when another person has like withdrawn their energy from you. And there's the idea, it could even be the wrong idea, but there's an idea at least that this was done, somebody like withdrew their energy, or worse, again, left you flat, caused you harm, by through some their responsibility, similar like to Judas, um abandon you, whatever. And the person who did this is who feels not only regretful, but that you feel this way, that you feel that they abandon you, you feel that they cause you harm. And so they're dealing, and they could be wrong, but they're dealing with that in their head, right, in their soul. It's irking them. You know how when sadly somebody does do something to hurt themselves, or something, and it's like, why didn't they just come and talk to me? Like, we could have, like, nothing went on, that nothing was that serious that we could never had a conversation. You feel that way, but obviously they felt that something really serious had happened, or that they couldn't talk to you. So there's that kind of situation going on. Again, I don't know if it's going to come up in this reading, or one of the others, or all of the above, or a couple of them, but I was just guided to tell you that, like, right now. So that may be what the voice was trying to tell me, and maybe because I didn't hear it with my ears, or even clairaudience, the message was sent to me a different way. That's possible. All right, but moving on, our overall energy, as I mentioned before, is the Nine of Cups today. This is a super positive card. We're very uplifting and pleasant. It's a good card to receive in a reading. It's a wish card. People look forward to it. It means that your dreams are coming true. Things that you prayed about, that you've hoped for, are happening right now, or will happen in like a short period, like in the near future. And also, it can be about you asking like a yes or no question, similar to the die in the beginning. We had a die that turned up yes in the beginning. So this is also a yes. So anybody that has been, bouncing back and forth, like a yes or no question, and they're not sure what the answer should be, we've got 2 yeses out of this reading already. All right, so moving on to our overall energy of the Queen of Pentacles reverse. This card it can actually be a real person. Again, all court cards can. And in the case of the Queen of Pentacles, when it's said to more likely than somebody else be like a dark-haired woman, maybe middle-aged, and she like plays an important role in your life. When she's in reverse, well, when she's upright too, the Queen of Pentacles in general has a lot to do with home, and like what home means to you, and it could be about decorating, or with whom you live, or where you live, or just the people, places, and things with which you surround yourself. Like that song, when I think of home, I think of a place. Home could be different to everybody, right? So the Queen of Pentacles shows up about whatever home is to us. And when she's in reverse, she guides us to like find happiness and joy in, the little things, like the fact that the sun rises every day, or that you woke up in the morning, and you get to hear the sound of birds and children's laughter, and all those kind of things that maybe sound cliche and silly, but that's what the card is about. Like just really appreciating the little things and life itself in general. In love, I'll tell you what it means in love specifically, because we have the pentacles sort of as like bookends, right? The starting card and then the ending card down there, both in the suit of pentacles, and both are court cards, so it could represent actual people and situations in our life. So I'll tell you what it means in love. It's like, first of all, it's a very feminine card. One of these cards that like exudes femininity, similar to the High Priestess or the Empress. And it really guides us to not only like use or lean on our femininity, and this goes for you males too, even the masculine ones, the alpha ones. We all have an inner masculine and feminine. So not only to like bring ourselves more into balance by looking to our feminine aspect and using it and sort of bringing it forward, giving it life, but it says that, again, home and whatever that means to us and focus on that, a focus on that home or home life or both, whether we're involved in a relationship or not. We could be single, but like paying attention to your home, maybe again cleaning up, spring cleaning, or a fresh coat of paint, new curtains, remodeling, whatever makes you feel comfortable in your space. That doing that, making these changes and making these improvements can also improve our love lives like greatly. For example, you might say like, well, how could it improve my love life if I'm single? All right, so let's say you have like a room in your house that's just like the junk room, right? Nobody lives in that room. And all of a sudden, this week, maybe you be moved. It's time to clean out that room and to like donate the extra stuff that we don't need to Goodwill or somebody that needs them. Doing that, now all of a sudden you have an extra room. You've cleaned out also the energy. Now, next thing you know, you're meeting somebody. Maybe you're asking them to move in. Maybe they have children, or you want to get a pet, or you want to make an office. You have an opportunity to start a new job, to own your own business. Now you got some place you can put a desk. It just opens up things in your life when we make these changes, especially if we're following guidance that we're given. Moving on to the sun, this is major arcana. So for me, it's karmic energy or representative of karmic energy. Again, maybe the planet Jupiter can be an particular influence this week, which Jupiter entered a major transit last week. On the 6th, it left Earth energy, it left Capricorn and moved into Aquarius. And funny enough, the sun is about, in its most like general or way, it is about feeling more free than you have been. And possibly like in a very long time. Like I haven't felt this free or liberated or, willing to do whatever it is I want to do, or to pursue my dreams or something, than I have, maybe in years. It's definitely a great time to take a vacation or to try new things. The sun itself is about happiness and again, freedom and self-expression, just a lot of really positive energies. Also, it can mean that things in general are going well for you. Even if like your finances are in a good shape though, it can mean like that you should focus on what's important in life, similar to what this card said, like the little things in life. It's funny that I mentioned sunshine, right? Because now this card is also taking on a similar meaning. It's a good time to socialize, and that could be part of focusing on what's important in life. And when they say what's important in life, money is not like one of those things. It's like the little things, the things that money can't buy, and all that I'm referring to, or that the card's referring to. Most directly represents the sign of Sagittarius. Did I mention that? Which is ruled, of course, by Jupiter. Although the sun, in terms of Earth's star, the sun, rules the sign of Leo. And this mean really good things. Good health for somebody maybe around you, or maybe yourself. Anything that you've taken, a sonogram or something involving rays, a CT scan, an MRI, cancer treatment, right? Radiation, all of these things like turning out well. And for the positive, somebody that's ill becoming well. If it's not you, somebody close to you. And in this placement, it is more likely somebody that's close to you, because this is like the surrounding energy. So like I said, close friends, family members, co-workers, love, romantic interests, romantic partners, all of that. But speaking of romantic interests and partners, in terms of love specifically, if you're in a committed relationship, this can be a time when you and or your mate are in more than the usual need for space. Like you want freedom right now. And so it's not a time to like be, like clingy, or whiny or particularly needy, especially if your partner doesn't like that kind of stuff. Like you may do it like playfully, but if they don't like it, even when you do it playfully, I know I hate whining. This is definitely not the time, not the week to do it, because, it could cause a problem, and you could be like, I was only joking. And it's like, when something's taken, like really, people are particularly sensitive to things. It could be a trigger this week. That's a good word for it. If you're single and looking for love, it could definitely be on the horizon, like the sun, the sun rising and setting. It's to signal the horizon. In terms of work, also something could be right, around the corner or on the horizon for you if you're looking for a new job, or even like a promotion or just something improvement. Finances, I talked about health already, spirituality, all these things should, be going particularly well right now and positive, but similar, speaking of spirituality, similar to, the need to consider the little things and to be focused on those. The same goes for spirituality and also the freedom aspect. All of that's true of the spirituality meaning for the sun. Truth in all things. Like truth is going to be like the most important thing spiritually this week. So again, if it's not you, somebody close to you, and you may be, wondering like, why are you telling me this week? They reveal something, or they just seem more independent and strong and humanitarian than you've ever recognized them before. It could be because of those things. So moving on to the Eight of Swords in reverse. Eight of Swords upright, of course, is definitely about feeling stuck. At least if you're upside down, you can just fall out, right? You can get out of there. And that is what it's about. It's about like now being the time when you decide consciously to take important steps to, make some changes in your life in whatever area. And it's after like having done some sort of self-assessment, or introspection or something, and realizing like, I got to get moving, So you're ready now, or almost ready, to go ahead and do that and move beyond any fears or anything that was holding you back before. If you need help, you're guided to ask for it when this card shows up too. Specifically with regard to work, it can be about a change that you've been wanting to make in work, and this card says that it's possible. Like, this is a good time to do it, but patience still may be required in some way, and also real like focus and intent and moving like in a deliberate manner, taking like particular steps toward the goal that it is you're trying to achieve are probably going to be required. Be open to the possibility of like chance meetings. I talked about that, in the beginning of the reading too, like, just a very opportune meeting, serendipitous meeting, even based on the Knight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles that we saw. And know that people around you may not get it. Not everyone is going to understand or even, support necessarily your desire to make a change. And this is about, again, you being freer than you ever had before, and or wanting to make the kind of home that you want for yourself, and knowing that you have to do what is best for you, period. Specific to finances, it tells you like unexpected things could come up in your finances, which I guess that could be good or bad. Can be an important time to make sure that you have some sort of financial safety net. I know that's easier said than done, for unexpected negative things maybe that come up, but at the same time, unexpected things that come up can bring about increase. It can be positive, especially with all the pentacles that we've seen this week. And again, the fact that, two major players, Venus and Mercury, move into Taurus, like the bull, the hard work. All the earth signs are hard workers to me. So it could definitely be positive, and you could get some unexpected money or, increase or the equivalent of money, like something valuable. Like this week, I mean, this is a small one, but it was still put a smile on my face. I went to get my oil changed, and they were like, "Oh," after, like when the guy was done, he's like, "You should really get your filter done." And I didn't have time. I had to meet somebody. And I'm like, "Can I do that next? Like, is it pressing? Can I do that next time?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, but your oil's free this time." So I guess he was trying to say like it's a good time to do it because you can pay for that. You don't have to pay for the oil change. Why my oil change was free, I do not know, but it was, and I accepted it. So it can be something like that, like the equivalent of increase or money, maybe what you get, which is for me is good enough, is awesome. So moving on to love, in addition to what I've already said about the Page of Pentacles in reverse, even if you're in like a super solid, committed, happy relationship, the this guy can be about like a wandering eye, and I'm thinking that's possibly attached to, again, this freedom. Like if you guys are taking a break, or maybe if one went on vacation without the other. Again, you're in a solid place in your relationship, but there's this newfound or suddenly found freedom that may be, guiding you to do this. Or maybe that's part of appreciating, what life has to offer in the little things. You're noticing attractive people or something when you're out and about. That could be it too. Also, it could be connected to what I was saying about the Judas. And actually, this card does have like a meaning associated. Well, it's like if you are feeling that maybe you are sort of over the relationship and interested in something else, and that's what's bringing about. The idea is to be honest with your partner, and that understanding, or to understand that being dishonest. Remember how important truth is this week with this, right? To be dishonest could probably cause you to lose them. And being dishonest would be sort of Judasy, right? But this is supposed to be somebody you care about. Even if you're interested in severing a relationship, if you care about this person, then you need to, tell them the truth, and be as empathetic to the situation and any hurt or harm that you're causing them by leaving them alone or taking a break or whatever it is, as you can be. And to not be is to abandon potentially somebody, and to be unnecessarily hurtful. So the Judas thing could be coming in that way. If you are interested in maintaining your relationship because it is good or whatever, then you'll recognize about yourself, oh, like I was looking around a bit this week, but I really want to keep my relationship. I got to bring the spark back into my relationship. And then you'll do something to do that. Or you're guided to, at least, to do something to do that. If you are single, then this can mean that, like, particularly if you have somebody that you're already interested in, that neither one of you is really ready to settle down yet, but that's okay. I mean, it's okay to just continue to get to know somebody and to have fun and see where things go. So feel comfortable doing that. I know there's a whole mentality about like dating to marry, and from the first date that you go out with the person, you already focused on marriage, and if they want to get married. To me, it's a little crazy. Or I it wouldn't be in my life. I couldn't do it, and I don't think I could date a man that was like that. That was just looking for a wife, not necessarily looking for me. That's how I would interpret it. But I know that I exist, and I don't, like for others, I wouldn't judge it. For me, I can say that's not the best thing. And this card is sort of speaking against that too. It's saying, sometimes the universe brings people together that had no plan of being together. When you see where things go, have some fun, enjoy life. Appreciate the little things, right? The fact that you woke up in the morning and you have somebody, to spend some time with, that you vibe with. You don't have to get married. All right, so moving on to physical health and the High Priestess. There could be something about your health that you feel hasn't yet been exposed, come to light. You could be feeling something. I don't know. I feel something's wrong in this area. Or I feel something is off, and if that's the case this week for you, and somebody tries to like be dismissive of it, like you go to the doctor and they say, oh, well, I don't see anything. I don't feel anything. And you're like, but no, but I feel it right here. Go to another doctor. Just make sure, because the guidance of the High Priestess is trusting your intuition, right? And your feelings about the situation. The High Priestess is highly intuitive, right? And so definitely she guides us to pay attention to what your body is telling you, and don't let anybody just like set it aside. You might have to get a third opinion even before finding out what's the word I'm looking for? Like, for allowing your concerns to be eased. And if a procedure or test or something is suggested for you and you don't feel comfortable with that, then don't just hold it in and say, well, this is the doctor and they said I need to get, my intestines rerouted. I don't know. Like, don't just go with them if you don't feel that that's right. Have a conversation, or at least get educated on the subject by through a conversation, and then you can decide how you feel. Also, there's guidance to like be open to supporting yourself as best as you can, through diet, exercise, vitamins, minerals. What are the many ways that we can support ourselves and our own health. And that brings us to the World, another major arcana card. We kind of had a lot. This is a little six card spread, so to speak, and 3 of the 6 cards are major arcana. That's a lot of heavy energy, but it's been heavy positive energy. And I think you're going to feel the same way about this one. So major arcana card 21, the World, again, for me, definitely is a fire energy, a representative fire energy. The card even feels warm when I touch it. And this is about it's funny that the High Priestess is here for our physical body too. I think they're working together this week, the High Priestess and the World. You could get several like very clear, not like the one I just got. Well, yeah, maybe like the one I ultimately ended up with. Very clear, like messages, spiritual insights, and some sort of like psychic awareness, information, clarity, revelation. You get the idea. During this period. So it's a week that I'm feeling, and this could be because of the moon too, so maybe it'll be longer than a week, but this reading is for a week. So at least for a week. It could be a good idea to maybe like keep a notebook handy to write things down. Something could come through a dream. I always suggest writing down your dreams. But this could really happen when you're awake. It may not. It's like just as likely to happen when you're awake this week. It is not. This is not dependent on you being asleep to have a vision or something. There may be an occasion where you want to share or discuss your thoughts with others, that may be close friends or family members, or online, or other members of the spiritual community. Your tribe, if you know who that is, your soul family. We're all, on one spiritual journey or another. Not everyone is going to have the same epiphany or thoughts or insights. So sometimes having these conversations can be helpful. Sometimes I'll have even like some sort of revelation, or I'll get some sort of information, and it's like too many pieces, and I don't know what everything means, and so I'll ask other people what they think. And that's despite how strong my own gifts are, and I'm fully aware of how strong they are. I ask other people too, like, what do you guys think? So there's a couple people that watch my channel that I'll email them, like the group. I'll do a little group email, and like the last time I did it, it was something really, really crazy. I had received, my computer had opened up to this like government document that was also like very religious. Like it spoke about the Bible, and like it used the number 66 a lot, and there are 66 books in the Bible. And I was, going over all these things, like, what the hell is this message? Why is my computer, like, what is this? What is this document? I don't think I ever learned what the document is, but it was like a government document. And, so I shared it. I can look it up again, because like I said, I shared it with other people. I sent it to them on Facebook Messenger for them to try to help me with it. Or give me their insights. Like, what if anything do you feel when you look at this, or when you hear this, or when you read this, or when I share what I experience behind it? with it? Does that add something to you? Does that spark anything? So this is what the card is suggesting for you guys too. For a little additional clarity, insight, I'm going to pull from these. I'm not going to shuffle them because I forgot to do it on camera and the cards are already all set up. But I promise you I shuffled them in advance. We're starting with Major Arcana card Strength, which represents the sign of Leo. Great inner strength, release harsh judgments, instead exercise some forgiveness and compassion. It is a 2, and 11 is a 2, so it can be about some sort of partnership. It can be about balance too in your relationships. The next card is also upright. It's the 8 of Pentacles. Skilled work is rewarded, so this is about reaping what you've sown. Talked about this briefly with one of the cards. I think when we saw the 7 of Pentacles, something I said you could have been working on for a while. Now you're reaping what you've sown. Now it's coming to bear. And now we have the 8 of Pentacles here to sort of like reconfirm that. Somebody may be also going back to school or learning like a new skill or something. Behind that, also upright, it's another 2, Major Arcana card Judgment. Which for me is about abundance that's earned. So like the universe paying you off, whether it's through another person or like, you know, some sort of blessing that can only come from God or from the universe, you know, directly. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Judgment represents the planet Pluto and the sign of Scorpio, which it rules. Maybe that's from where all the cups are coming. Also upright is the 7 of Swords. Plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. I say this card represents the energy of joy stealing, whether it's somebody else stealing our joy, possibly by actually robbing us in a physical and tangible way, which would make us sad and steal our joy. Or, you know, it could be like something less tangible and just something, again, that's hurt, that's pain, that makes us unhappy. This can be a card of distrust. Okay, I talked very much about trust here and very much about trust here. And we can steal our own joy by lacking confidence or esteem, and that prevents us from moving forward. That prevents us from taking chances and doing stuff. And we miss opportunities when we don't, you know, and you miss out on joy. You miss out on happiness when you don't take a chance sometimes. 2 of Swords is the next and final card that is upright. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. That can be you, again, that blocking you from making a decision can be you stealing your own joy. Like if I make a decision, which is probably yes, should be yes, based on the yes card and the yes die this week, then, you know, I have an opportunity to experience the joy behind whatever that is. If I don't make a decision, then it passes me by, the opportunity, then I miss it. I've stolen my own joy. Now, for me, another reason why I would say that it would be something that would be a yes is for that, for me, the 2 of Swords is a card that says that we already know what we want to do. So we have already made a decision. We're just not acting on it because, again, we're afraid of what other people will think or society will think or whatever it is. But remember, take the opportunity to feel more freer than you ever have before. Or maybe to make some changes in your life and in your home specifically, or your environment, and what feels like home to you, and that will open some things up to you as well. Now, joining the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Queen of Swords. Independent experience, realistic and witty, objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you. And that could be, again, cleaning out your house. I mean, it could be in a very literal way. This is, the Queen of Swords is known as the Feng Shui Queen as well. She's very good at that, at like, just setting up the furniture in such a way that there's flow in the home. She is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, most directly an Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And I think this week she could be Venus, because again, Venus enters Taurus, and the Queen of Pentacles is most directly a Taurus. All right, as the fixed card, fixed sign of the element of Earth. I'll just put these down for a minute. Surrounding energy, joining the Sun, we have another High Priestess. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. If you're, again, you're feeling free, you want to take some sort of action, you're being guided to do something, and maybe in an independent way on your own, to take a vacation, to take a break from some friends or family members, or even a romantic interest. Again, paying attention to the guidance that your inner knowing is providing to you, and going with that, and not doing anything based on, what would make somebody else happy, or, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings by me taking some time to myself. It's more important that you take time to yourself, right? That you focus on your own health, spiritual, emotional, physical health. Also, again, remember, this is a card that is about truth. So, living in your truth and being honest about what's coming up. Oh, this is really perfect. The work and finance card, the Ace of Pentacles, right? How awesome is that? The inflow of abundance. So I said this is about some sort of change or action, right? Something happens in your financial life, and hopefully it's a positive change. And I was saying it looked like a positive change thus far, and I think this is the confirmation we needed, right? The Ace of Pentacles. It doesn't get more positive in terms of work and finance than that. A promising business venture is a possibility, and maybe even signing or dealing with important documents or contracts this week. So it could be the equivalent of money. Maybe you're dealing with a contract like on a home. A home has value, right? Equity. It's basically money. It's just not liquid. So that's what I meant by that. Love and relationship, joining the Page of Pentacles, we have the Page of Wands. So this is talking about opportunity. Maybe there's an opportunity to, again, improve your love life, to fix your relationship that's existing. If you feel like your head's been turning, or your partner's has been turning, and you're both interested in fixing it. Or this can be an opportunity for you to go, where you will feel more comfortable and like you're living in your truth. Whether that means being single for a while and not settling down in a serious relationship, which we discussed the Page of Pentacles can mean in reverse, or, being with somebody else, or dating, or whatever. The Page of Wands is outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and your ingenuity. Page of Pentacles is an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, possibly, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. So, physical health. Joining the High Priestess, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Seeds well planted. Temporary pause in action. Unnecessary worry. So you've already begun to do the right thing, maybe to do the right research, to see the right doctor, to eat the right food, to do the right exercise, and maybe you're not seeing results, and you want to get some sort of confirmation as to what's happening. And when you do, you might not get it in the moment that you want, but when you do, you will find that there was no need to worry because you had done the right thing already. Or set the right things in motion. And lastly, spiritual health. Spiritual health. We have the Three of Pentacles. Threes are very spiritual. They are about creation and the Creator and the Trinity. This is about work too. It's very similar to Judgment for me in terms of abundance that's earned. So reaping some sort of benefits like clarity, right? It doesn't have to be money. It can be the equivalent, something valuable. Knowledge, clarity, wisdom, understanding, revelation. Also, it can have to do with you. There could be some sort of, spiritual creativity happening with you. So maybe even getting into like a spiritually based business or something. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. There could be a group too. This could be about your soul family. Again, the people that you're going to talk to for support. An additional advice for both the masculine and the feminine. We have another 3. It is for the masculine, Major Arcana card 12. It's called Awakening here. This is the Hangman. Look at things from a different perspective. You may be at a temporary standstill. And it's important to be yourself. What does that mean? Truth, again, and freedom. Independence, truth, that's being yourself. Being honest about what you want and stuff like that. For the feminine, we have the Ten of Wands. Too much work. Accept help from others. talked about that too, asking for help and support if we need it. Life is out of balance, and that can cause stress-related health concerns, right? And that may be why you're feeling that something might not be right. Pulling a card from the other deck for the masculine, we have Major Arcana card 18, the moon, and today there is a new moon in Aries. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. Both of these cards, the Hangman and the Moon, represent the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune, and can be about, again, definitely the message is to pay attention to your intuition and to go with guidance, and fearlessly, but also can be about, again, dreams, messages, psychic awareness, things coming to you. And for the feminine, from the same deck, we have the Two of Wands. So she stayed in the same element too. Like the masculine's here with the Pisces and the Pisces, and then the feminine has got wands and wands. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand the number of people who are helping you. And again, that can be tied to your soul family as well. And people who will be supportive and understanding. Can also be about balance. It's another 2. And in love, I mean, it is the twin flame card of the tarot. So again, it can be about your head turning maybe because you're with the wrong person, or maybe your head turning toward the right person. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the reading. If you want to stick around, I'm going to go over again very quickly what's going on this week. On the Islamic or Muslim calendar, we're not going to do anything until the 22nd of April. So that's probably next week's reading. Ramadan begins. On the Hebrew calendar, we're not going to talk about anything this week either because they continue to count the Omer, which we've already discussed what that's about. But on the Christian calendar, there are actually 2 holidays, one of which is today, and that is the Feast of Divine Mercy, followed by so there's one on our first day for which the reading is, and one on the last day for which the reading is. On the 17th, Our Lady of the Valley. So we'll talk about those quickly now. I actually went to a website, or found a website that was thedivinemercy.org. So it's all about the Feast of the Divine Mercy, or that saint. And I'm going to read from there. So in a series of revelations to Saint Maria Faustina Kalauska in the 1930s, our Lord, meaning Jesus, I understand he's not everybody's Lord, I'm reading, it says Lord here, called for a special feast day to be celebrated on the Sunday after Easter. Today we know that feast day as Divine Mercy Sunday, named by Pope John Paul II at the canonization of Saint Faustina on April 30th in the year 2000. The Lord expressed his will with regard to this feast in his very first revelation to Saint Faustina. The most comprehensive revelation can be found in her diary entry number 699. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I started to mention at the beginning of the reading how it seemed like the numbers 6 and 9 were going to be particularly important this week, because we had the 9 of Cups that showed up a couple times, and now is our overall energy. The 9 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Cups, all sort of back to back when I was like shuffling and stuff. And so this is diary entry 699. My daughter, tell the whole world about my inconceivable mercy. 6 and 9 also represent Mary, our numbers of Mary. I've mentioned that before, but I did not today. I desire that the Feast of Mercy be a refuge and a shelter for all souls, and especially for poor sinners. On that day, the very depths of my tender mercy are open. I pour out a whole ocean of graces upon those souls who approach the fount of my mercy. The soul that will go to confession and receive Holy Communion shall obtain complete forgiveness of sins and punishment. On that day are opened all the divine floodgates through which the graces flow. Let no soul fear to draw near to me, even though its sins be as scarlet. So like red and, or like a red letter. Even though your sins may be great, still come to me. Which is interesting because our overall energy is strength, which represents Leo, which is fire, a red energy, a red card. And it is about forgiveness and mercy. On that day are open the divine floodgates through which the graces flow. Let no soul fear to draw near to me, even though its sins be as scarlet. My mercy is so great that no mind, be it of man or angel, will be able to fathom it throughout all eternity. So it's saying like even the angels cannot understand. Everything that exists has come from the very depths of my most tender mercy. Every soul in its relation to me will contemplate my love and mercy throughout eternity. The feast of mercy emerged from my very depths of tenderness. It is my desire that it be so solemnly celebrated on the first Sunday after Easter. Mankind will not have peace until it turns to the fount of my mercy. In all, St. Faustina recorded 14 revelations from Jesus concerning his desire for this feast. Nevertheless, Divine Mercy Sunday is not a feast based solely on St. Faustina's revelations. Indeed, it is not primarily about St. Faustina, nor is it altogether a new feast. The second Sunday of Easter was already a solemnity as the octave day of Easter. The title, Divine Mercy Sunday, does, however, highlight the meaning of the day. And now moving on to Our Lady of the Valley. For that one, I went to Roman-Catholic-Saints.com. I just pulled the first thing that came up, honestly. Our Lady of the Valley. It says April 8th here, but that's not right. Except that 17 equals 8, and I think the first one may have been on April 8th, now that I think about this. So maybe that's why. And, oh yeah, okay, that is true. And it looks like it happened in the year 1040, which is another 14. We just read about a 14 in the other passage. It said that Jesus, or that St. Faustina had 14 visits from Jesus that she wrote about. And so now we have the year 1040, that's another 14. The Sicilian shrine to Our Lady of the Valley, or the Green Valley, or Our Lady of Valverde, Verde means green, is said to have originated about the year 1040. According to tradition, a soldier named Dionysius remained behind on the island of Sicily to engage in banditry. So he was a thief. Having been enticed by the wealth on the island and his greed for the money, he felt that he could easily steal from others. Seven of Swords, Judas. Assault, theft, and murder meant nothing to him. Dionysius found a cave in which to hide, and then lurked in the shadows of the thick woods along the path that led to Catania to Assi, from Catania to Assi. Dionysius was so active that this region near Mount Etna soon became infamous as the scene of robberies, violence, and even murder. At that time, there was a certain man named Giles, or Giles, 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 who lived in the city of Catania. In the course of business, it became necessary for him to make the dangerous trip to Assi. Now, while Giles was aware of the danger, he was a pious man, like very religious, or faithful, who was greatly devoted to the Blessed Virgin Mary. And he was absolutely convinced that she would watch out for him in this journey. As Giles passed through the woods beneath Mount Etna, which is actually a volcano, a bandit barred his way and threatened his life with a dagger. Suddenly, the earth shook violently, and a globe of blinding light appeared nearby. From within the light, a woman's voice could be heard. Dionysius, Dionysius, do not touch my devotee. The assassin's arm was frozen by that command. He turned and looked around at the light. Lay down that weapon and cease this life of banditry. At these words, Dionysius saw in the flash the monstrosity of what had been his life passing before his eyes. Throwing away his knife, he humbly acknowledged the errors of his former life and prostrated himself at the feet of his intended victim, begging for forgiveness. So this is what I was made to stop and tell you guys about, how somebody's going to feel regret for being a Judas. Within a few days, word got out about what had happened, and the faithful from Asi proceeded to the hill of Valverde. Once at the hill, they observed a noisy flock of cranes hovering in the sky before landing on a particular clearing nearby. Taking it as a sign, the bandit turned hermit began the work of constructing the chapel on that very spot. Although he began working immediately and with impressive fervor, progress soon came to a halt due to the lack of water supply. Dionysius turned in prayer to the Virgin Mary, who once again appeared to order that pickaxe be used to strike at the base of the rock forming the entrance to the bandit's cave. The result of the blow was a trickle of water that formed a pool sufficient not only for the continuation of the work, but also proved to be miraculous, as it soon became a source of healing for many of the sick who came and drank there. So many people came to assist that work that it had begun in the year 1038 was finished only 2 years later. Dionysius kept the faith and continued to live on Valverde as a hermit, a Virgo maybe, a Page of Pentacles. One night, he was wrapped in prayer when he was struck by an intense beam of light and saw a cloud in which the Madonna appeared, surrounded by heavenly angels. The light dispersed as the cloud rose toward heaven, revealing a magnificent image of the Blessed Virgin Mary and her divine Son imprinted on the rough wall of a pillar of the church that he built. The image, now known as Our Lady of the Valley, depicts the Virgin Mary seated and wearing a robe with gold accents. Her head is covered with a veil, although Mary's hair can be seen framing her face. With her right hand, she holds the divine child, who is seated upon a red and gold cushion. He has curly hair and is dressed in a white tunic. His right hand is raised in blessing, while the other rests upon a small crane that seems to hide behind the Virgin's left hand. In the year 1565, a group of Christian soldiers stopped here to invoke the aid of Our Lady of the Valley, while on their way to the island of Malta. Suleiman the Magnificent was about to lay siege to the island fortress with countless thousands of his finest warriors, while only 600 Knights of St. John would stand against them to defend the stronghold. These Christian soldiers were the same who would later operate the cannon that fired the round that mortally wounded the infamous pirate commander Dragut Reis. A votive offering of 2 iron cannonballs now hangs to the left of the altar as testimony and thanksgiving for the assistance of the Mother of God during that siege. The Feast of Our Lady of the Valley is kept throughout 3 dioceses of Sicily. From the Woman in Orbit and other sources is from where this comes, this story. And now on to the planetary calendar. Again, beginning with today, April 8th at 6:10 p.m. Pluto will be sesquiquadrate the true node. So maybe that's possibly another reason why the Queen of Swords came up. The true node is Gemini, and why Judgment came up. That represents Pluto, possibly. Also today, April 11th, later on tonight at 10:31 p.m., the new moon in Aries occurs at 22 degrees Aries, 11:11 or 13:04. On April 12th at 6:13 a.m., Juno will be retrograde or will go retrograde. 24 degrees Sagittarius. Maybe that's why the Page of Fire showed up, or why the Sun showed up. Juno is another representative of mother, right? Of the feminine energy, divine mother. On April 14th at 2:22 p.m., Venus enters Taurus, 0 degrees Taurus. And, actually, the Mercury one is next week, April 19th. So we'll talk about that next week. I'll just read what it means for Venus to be entering Taurus and in there. Venus in Taurus, sensual, romantic, and patient, which can be another reason why the Seven of Pentacles continues to show up. Venus is the planet of love and beauty, and traditionally rules both Taurus and Libra. Yes, she is also the esoteric ruler of the sign of Gemini. She's the planet that's concerned with pleasure, whether that's pleasure in love or in our physical world. Tracking which zodiac sign Venus is in can help you to see which cosmic factors are influencing you and your significant other. Matters of the heart are a mystery, but passion planet Venus can give us a few clues. There's another important expression of Venus and Taurus too, money. These two appreciate the finer things in life, food, good food, beautiful scenery, and luxury items. Taurus represents Venus's more tactile delights and the things two lovers can enjoy together. When this loving planet enters the earthy sign of Taurus, right, which she rules, is what they're pointing out, we are reminded of just how beautiful this world can be. So Venus is home, right, like the Queen of Pentacles. She is home in Taurus. Venus's presence in this patient zodiac sign signals a time of simplifying complexities, getting down to the fundamentals, and rebuilding relationships from the ground up. This is an ideal time to bring love and money issues out into the open, remember the truth, so that they can be dealt with directly and easily. Dating is delightful when Venus is in Taurus. It encourages us to slow down and to live in the moment and to find ways to enjoy the company of someone special. Right, not to be planning when we're getting married after just meeting somebody. Maybe you and your sweetheart will cuddle up and watch a great movie, open a good bottle of wine, feast on something delicious. This is a time when you'll both be in the mood to indulge your senses. Taurus is a security-oriented sign that seeks stability over torrid passion. That means when this planet and sign get together, we're more drawn to commitment than quick affairs or casual dating. If you want a relationship, or if you've had your eye on someone for a while, this could be the time when you two decide to take things to the next level. Nice. Maybe that's from where the yeses come. There's a possibility that our partnerships could get bogged down by the infamous stubbornness of Taurus and what it's known for when Venus is in Taurus. This is one drawback of this cosmic coupling that everyone should be mindful of. If you're in a relationship or on track toward commitment, this might be a time when it's more difficult for the two of you to move forward as a couple. Okay. Compromise can be difficult when you're dealing with the bull. If you're single, this is a time when you'll feel some internal resistance to opening yourself up and letting in someone new. Remember, a little bit of flexibility can go a long way. It goes on to talk about what it means for Venus to be in Taurus if you in your birth chart. And if you want to read more about that, again, I got it from www.tarot.com. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll be back with the love reading and the moon reading. And I have 2 more client readings that I have to get up as well. The last 2, I've done them all. So hopefully that can happen today too. Namaste.